Welcome back. So let's get started creating our application. What we're going to do first is we're going to create a database. If we don't have it created already, I'll show you how to do that. Then we'll create the tables that are necessary for the application. Then we'll create the columns within those tables, and then we'll write the SPROCs, which stands for stored procedures. These are the SQL statements, and they'll exist within the database. There's a number of reasons why you want to put them in the database, which I'll explain as we go along building this application. Alright, in order to do our database work, we need to have a tool that we can use to connect to the database with and start working with all the objects in the database. So right now I have loaded up this tool. It's a free tool. It's called MySQL Workbench, and I have a resource here. You can go to this URL and you can download it from there and install it. By the way, I'll try to use as many free tools as possible, so you can pretty much everything in development has free tools, so you don't have to have any layout costs. Later on, as you get more sophisticated, then you can get some more professional paid type tools. I'll recommend some to you later on as we get more sophisticated. Okay, the first thing we want to do is create a database itself if you don't have one already, and I've already created one here. We're going to use one called rack_testdb2. But if you don't have one created yet, here are the steps to create one. Just to mention, I am not on a shared host. I'm using what's called a slice. It's a virtual server. Being a virtual server means it's just like having my own machine to work on, which means that I'll need to connect to it directly through SSH, secure shell, and I'll need to run commands in order to give myself permission to use the database object. So I have all the commands here for that. Let me go through all 4 of these steps to creating a database. Right now I'm assuming that you have a server set up, a slice server. You don't have to have a slice server set up to do these tutorials here, but if you do, that's great, because you'll be doing the same steps that I'll be doing here. So the first thing you want to do is log into your server via SSH. There are some free client tools that allow you to do that. We can talk about that another time. Now once you're logged into it, go ahead and type this command right here. This will put you into interactive mode with MySQL, and you'll be able to type SQL commands right from the command line. Okay, on to step 3. By this time you should have a SQL prompt. So it should say this, should say MySQL with that, and then there should be a prompt right there. From this point you can type in this command right here. Make sure there is a semicolon at the end. Once you've typed this out, then you actually have a database created. But the next step is to create permission in order for you to access that from a remote location. So you want to make the IP address to be your home address, or the address that you're connecting on remotely from your laptop or from your development machine. So go ahead and run this line, and this username and this password, create your own password here, will be used to make a connection into MySQL Workbench, this tool here. So copy this down and copy this down so you can use it to log into your client tool. And you also need the IP address of the server in there too, so it knows where to go to make the connection to the database server. Okay, so at this point I'll assume you've been able to do this. If you're not able to get through it, let me know, and I'll create another video, and we'll keep going simpler and simpler until you get it, and then we can move forward again. If we have to move backwards, we will. Then we'll get it figured out, then we'll move forwards. I'll stop here. In the next video we'll start working on some database tables.